Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of At the Dinner Table. I'm your boy V Dub Vincent Wolf here with my brother Ducel Toro. It's just us, two brothers, and I mean that literally, not figuratively, literally. Um, so I just got the news today. I gotta go to it. Donald Trump got acquitted.
Yeah, I just got it.
It literally just happened, like right before we came on
Yep.
air, and it's just it's
I can't believe it.
I can't believe it because his attorneys were literally winging it. Like they were literally. I don't think they even said anything that had anything to do to
Yeah, Ted Cruz stepped in at the last minute yesterday to become his attorney. At the end, because somebody else was his attorney before that, but then Ted Cruz stepped in at the last minute to become his attorney. Yeah, I don't know what happened. You had all this evidence piled against him. They literally have a call. I just was listening to it. They have a call where one of the head of his one of his people in his party calls him during the riot and goes, "Hey, can you call off of the rioters because our lives in danger?" And you know what he says to him? "I guess they care more about this election than you do." That's when he tells his own person in his own party during the riot.
What's crazy? What's worse is that now this can happen again, and people know that he can get away with it. This is literally privilege at its finest. Like he could literally now he could cause an insurrection and basically do whatever he want without democracy and get away with it.
Now that's only if he can make it to the next election. So you gotta remember, all right, he didn't get impeached, so he can still run. But we also have to remember he got like 70, he got like 60-something cases out there. You know what I'm saying? Where he can go to jail for a long time. You know what I'm saying? And guess what? A lot of them are in other countries. They ain't got nothing to do with America. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them are in other countries. So they're gonna want their just due.
Yeah, so but can't he just I'm just playing, not playing the like I'm trying to, because if he leaves the country, right?
Yeah.
And goes to a country where it's safe for 4 years.
No extradition.
What do you mean?
A country that don't allow people to be extradited. So like Cuba, you know what I'm saying? But see, guess what? All those countries, they have to accept him in there first. Now you got to remember, he called a lot of them countries that don't extradite shithole countries. A lot of those countries that don't extradite is the ones he was talking about, all the crap about. You know what I'm saying? He talked about, I think, I'm not sure.
A lot of them are black and brown countries.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't know if Norway or Oslo, which is the capital of Norway, I don't know if it extradites, because he loves that country. You know what I'm saying? He think that's what white people are made. Like they manufactured. Yeah, he's ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. But if they don't want him there though. I can tell you that the head of Norway already shitted on him. It was like, we don't want this this dude around.
Because I just don't want him to like leave, right? Hide out for 4 years.
Yeah, for 4 years.
And then
that's what's gonna happen.
Come back and then go, oh yeah, I'm gonna run for president. Because once he says he's running, they can't do anything to him.
Right. You know that's what he's gonna have to do. He's gonna have to do that. And you think about it, they already kicked him out of his home where he used to live. Was it Murcielago, whatever it is? The little community he lived in.
Mar-a-Lago.
Yeah, the little community he lived in. They kicked him out. All his neighbors said, we don't want him here. You know what I'm saying? So they got rid of him. So he had to move somewhere else. Where is he going to go? In this country, he would have to go down south somewhere. Like he can't go into the major cities anymore. New York is not having him. You know what I mean? Not for the most part. I mean, there's some people still there that support him, but Washington, he's definitely can't go there. That's 70% black people. He not he won't last. You know what I'm saying? He was in the White House. There's a difference when you just living on the street. Like Bill Clinton, even check this out. Bill Clinton, even after he blew up an orphanage in Africa full with babies and nuns, was able to move to Harlem amongst black people and still have, relevance. See, a lot of people don't talk about that with Bill Clinton because he was a cool president. You know what I'm saying? But this dude, during his trial, when they were trying to impeach him, he literally blew up an orphanage filled with babies and nuns. That's it. No weapons, no men, nothing. It was just women and babies.
Why'd he blow up the orphanage?
He was saying that there was weapons in there, but it was basically to distract from what he was going through. You know what I'm saying? With Monica Lewinsky, it was to throw everything off. But it just got him in more trouble. But you know what I'm saying? For the most part, he was good. But see, a lot of people don't know. It's not like floating around there unless you go research it. You probably don't even like it. Ain't like
I
a
know
public
you did
thing.
some stuff with Haiti, him and Hillary, Hillary and American Red Cross did some stuff with Haiti. Let me read you what this is on Twitter. U.S. politics. United States Senate acquits former President Trump over his role in the U.S. Capitol riot. The U.S. Senate voted 57-43 to acquit former President Donald Trump on Saturday, which is today, after he was charged with inciting the January 6th attack on the United States Capitol building. Trump released a statement welcoming the decision, saying his movement has only just begun. So, I mean, if you have I don't understand. Like I understand it, and what's crazy is the people that are surrounding him and lift him up again, like seeing him as like the second Jesus, are in a position to make laws in this country. You know what I mean? Like some of them are coming out, some of them are getting, out, but they're getting ordered out, but like they're still making law, like they're still in a position to make laws, and they're
right.
just as crazy.
And a lot of people he put in position are still, like you said, they're still there in those positions. I mean, some of them were just so stupid that they had to be taken out, like the head of education, who had no background in education. Yeah, I don't know why the hell she was there. They had to get rid of her. You know what I'm saying?
Like, we didn't talk. I don't think we talked about it last week. What's we call it? What's this dude name? He was a scientist. He was the head of HUD. I don't know why I'm drawing a blank on his name. I just had it in my head. The black dude who's the neuroscientist.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Neil deGrasse.
No, not Neil deGrasse. He worked for Trump. He was
I didn't see him. I don't know.
You've seen him before. He was
I don't know his name. I thought
he's a brain surgeon.
Oh, Ben Carson.
Ben Carson. This dude just came out. I meant to talk about it, but he just came out last week and said that he is resigning from the Trump administration.
Mm-hmm.
Last week, he came out publicly and said that he is resigning from the Trump administration.
Now what happened?
The Trump administration is not even in. It's not even a thing anymore. Yeah. So
well, I mean, it's still, you got to remember, he still has another 4 years he can run. So they still going for these next 4 years, they ain't gonna be doing nothing but campaigning. So it's still an administration. It's just not in office.
Yeah, but
his administration is in office, but he still got an administration.
He said
that's still going to be it's still going to be a moving force. He still has a lot of fans and cult followers.
He said that the reason why he's resigning was because of the attack of January 6th. It took the dude a whole month to say that he didn't want that he wanted to resign. And everybody else was resigning and leaving before January
Well, you
6th,
got
on January 6th, days after January 6th.
let's
But
not
this,
act like he hasn't been shucking and jiving his way through Congress.
yeah,
Like,
I know,
you know what I'm
trust
saying?
me.
I got to call a spade a spade, or call a coon when you see one. I mean, we gotta. He shucked and jived his way all through that. You know what I mean? Next to Trump. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's just.
Yeah, he's not one of the ones that's like, he wasn't like, for instance, when George Bush got into office, right? People were calling George Bush racist, you know what I mean? Because, you know what I mean, for a lot of factors. But his general he had in office with him was Colin Powell.
Yeah, I know that.
Someone far from a coon. This dude did civil rights movements, all types of, you know what I mean, credible, admirable things. They actually wanted him to run for president. He got so many death threats because they knew he would win. This before Obama. He was like, "No, I'm not even running. I'm not running." You know what I'm saying? I'm okay with being a general. You know what I'm saying? But even George Bush had a real, you know, somebody who can really relate to the audience he could when it came to, you know, I wouldn't say Condoleezza Rice, but her too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But more so of Colin Powell, being from Harlem.
He's
he's from Harlem. You know?
Yeah. He's 4-star general, right?
Yeah.
Because he's one of the few in his rank. Because there's not that many. The rank that he's in.
A lot. That's what I'm saying. Like he accomplished so much in his life, and you know what I mean. Look, he being from the hood, from you know, from what we call the hood. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Neighborhood, urban environment, coming up, becoming what he is, and then becoming the head. You know what I mean? So the head of defense or whatever. So he had. When you think about the people that was around, even someone we said George Bush, who some people consider a racist, I really consider him a racist. He did a lot of, when he was a governor, he did a lot of race stuff that I wouldn't. So I guess that's what it was. It was a lot of the people he put to death as a governor. You know what I'm saying? Even when the people came out, I remember it was on TV, one of the executions. It was a young brother, and he was supposed to have killed these people, this young white woman, and her parents came out and was like, he's not the guy who killed our daughter. We know he's not the guy who killed our daughter. They're telling the governor, which was George Bush before he became president, this guy killed our daughter. Go after him. He's getting free. It was a white man. But instead, he already had this dude and he let him be put to death. It was a big uproar. And what's crazy about that is if you go all the way back in history, there's a book you get from Washington. It's called, you got to get it from DC, from Congress. And it's called the Things You Don't Know About America. You know what I mean? Things You Don't Know About America and its history, certain histories. And it talks about the Bush, because you know they've been in politics for over 200 years. So it starts with Gwendolyn Washington Bush, whose mother was a slave and whose father was the slave master's son. He became the first one to get in politics because he passed, but he was half black. So someone asked George Bush that before he executed the guy. She's like, how can you do it? It was a woman from California. She goes, how can you do this to so many black people and your ancestor was black? And he just shrugged it off and didn't say anything. You know what I'm saying? But when you go back into a lot of these politician histories, they come up and you see that they have some type of African, and I ain't talking about like way down in DNA because everybody comes from Africa. I'm talking about like right descended from slavery, you know what I mean, Africa. You know what I'm saying? But they're passing. So, but yeah, I'm rambling about George Bush, but the point I'm trying to make was that even though people consider him a racist, as some people did, at least he kept people around him, like African American people around him, who was able to really connect with African American people. No black people connects with Ben Carson. That's the point I make. We don't connect with Ben Carson. That's the point I'm trying to make. That was it right there. That's bringing it full circle.
Let's just keep the circle going with being black and being pro-black and black history. So I'm going to read you this story. This is coming out of Lansing, Michigan. WILX 10. I think this is NBC. No, ABC. What's the one with the peacock? NBC.
NBC.
A man looking to be Michigan's next governor has an unusual campaign promise to end Black History Month in Michigan, and it's drawing a lot of attention. Quote. Wait, hold on. Let me
okay, finish it.
Okay.
I thought you were
we don't need to have multiple history months for Black History Month or any other history month for that matter. All that should matter is American History Month because that's what binds us together, said August Changi. I said his name right. Changi has no background in politics, but says getting rid of individual history month is what Michigan needs. Quote, we must first understand what, gotta get rid of that. We must first understand that we're Americans, that the first thing that binds us together, if we, let me re-say that, hold on. Quote, we must first understand that we're Americans. That's the first thing that binds us together. If we have to return to our individual groups, where we come from, then it's absolutely polarizing. Nothing is going to be done, he said, end quote. So I'm gonna ask you, do you think this is a white dude or a Black dude?
I know it's a Black dude.
You know, you know the story?
No, but I can tell by the way he's talking. I'm gonna tell you why.
Go ahead.
Let me tell you why. But what he don't understand is that this is a discussion I talk to I have with my daughters because they learning, it's Black History Month and they doing it in school. And I explained to them, Black History Month is not for Black people. It's not. We are Black every year, every day. You know what I'm saying? Every month we're Black. Black History Month is for white people to learn, or people of non-African descent to learn something about Black history in America. That's what it is. It wasn't designed to teach Black kids about Black history, because you learn that every day. You know what I'm saying? Whether you learn a tidbit there in your house, it's not for us. So it's for them. So I think that's what he's misunderstanding. So they do need Black History Month, or they would learn nothing for the most part about Black history.
To expand on that, we really need, Black history should be taught every day, to keep it real with you.
Well, that's what it is. And, like I said, my house is taught every day.
Yeah. I'm talking about in school. White people. It should be taught. Not just Black history, but
history.
Native American history.
Yeah.
Hispanic history. Everything. It should be every history should be taught in school, especially history that happened here in America.
Well,
what happens
I remember,
is, go ahead.
Right. No, I remember because you said something about Native American history. I remember in 2000 and I want to say 2000 and let's say 2005 or 6 is when they changed the history books. Because if you remember, they taught us Thanksgiving. The Pilgrims and the Indians sat down. You know what I mean? They had a meal together, and that's where Thanksgiving come from. But really what happened was 90 million of these people was slaughtered in the massacre. I mean, and then the Pilgrims sat down and ate the pillaged food that they done pillaged and plundered. They ate the food. That's what really happened. And the Native Americans, it actually happened in Connecticut, the Eastern Maston Pequot. Native Americans, this is where it started from. They made them change the book. And they're Black Native Americans, what we consider, they look like the same, just like me and you. They wouldn't look any different. You wouldn't be able to tell them any different. You know what I'm saying? They're not like the ones with the longer hair, the white, the sharper features. They're more like an African Native American, you know what I mean? Eastern Maston. They called them potato niggas. They were slaves too. But they just harvest potatoes. I mean, it's a history fact. I'm not making a joke. That's what they called them. Like we was called cotton picking niggas, they were called potato picking niggas. That's what they were called in history. But Yeah, they've actually got the history books changed across America. The reason why now that's why they don't teach that Thanksgiving story anymore. That's the reason why it's not taught anymore. So like my daughters never learned that the Pilgrims and the Indians sat down together and had a meal and, sung Kumbaya and, and that's the miracle of Thanksgiving. And they didn't learn that. You know what I'm saying? Because they had that history changed. You know what I'm saying? So that's a good thing about what the Native Americans did as far as them making sure that the history changed. But yeah.
I do remember in school, I remember elementary school.
Yeah, that's what we
They
learned.
taught it. But when I got to junior high school, I can't remember the teacher's name, but he told us what happened. Yeah, he told us what happened.
Yeah.
With the smallpox, they put the smallpox in the blanket and gave it to the Native Americans. Yeah. So, yes. Also, I learned in high school. Now, I'm gonna keep it real. This is a little side note of the trending topics that we're going over right now. So, there was this book called, I want to say it was called "This Is Us," "This Is America," something. And in the book, there was a character. His name was I can't remember his name now. It's gonna come to me. So the game Assassin's Creed 3? Basically, the story that they got is Assassin's Creed 3, half of it, was about this one dude. So what it was that he was half white, half Native American. And at night, he will go and kill white people. And during the day, he will dress up like them. Like he'll wear the white wig. He'll go to all the meetings and talk to them because his skin was really light. I can't remember his name. His name was Wariagi. Was his Native American name. But what's crazy is I remember reading the story. I remember reading the story in the textbook. That was the only textbook I read cover to cover.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember reading that story specifically because it was one thing that was like branded in my brain. It was about Wariagi.
That's probably where they got the story from for Assassin.
Now,
they use some.
Here's the thing. I remember trying to Google Wariagi. I could not find Wariagi at all. I couldn't find anything with that story at all. So I don't know if it's a Mandela effect. I don't know what it is. All I know is that I could not find that story, but I remember the story. I remember what it was. Like it was almost the exact same story of Assassin's Creed 3. That he was half Native American and he was a half British white dude. That when they came over to this was during the American Revolution, and he grew up and he was so light that he can pass for a white guy during the day. So during the day he passed for a white guy, but at night he wore his armor, his warrior arm gear that he wore, and he will go and murder white people because they were taking over his land. So
why do that? Like that's another thing about history when it comes to African Americans being enslaved. One thing they need to teach is that as soon as we got off the boat, there was war. So we didn't accept slavery ever. We didn't accept slavery ever. We were fighting since the day we stepped foot on this land. We were fighting for freedom to get free. There was thousands of Nat Turners. You know what I'm saying? There wasn't just one. That's just the one they paraded around. They literally stuffed him. Like, you know what I mean? They stuffed them like taxidermy and paraded them around. So, but there was thousands of Nat Turners over the years trying to fight. You know what I mean? There was people, women that was in the house that would poison the masters, and they would take over the plan, set free. So these are a lot of the reasons why, we were given liberty, not freedom, but liberties, because it's a mask of freedom, and you think it's freedom. It was a trick. I mean, we should have kept fighting. I think we would have had freedom. We would have definitely got freedom, but that was where the liberty came in. You know what I mean? It's liberty and justice for all. We didn't get the freedom, but we got the liberty. We didn't get the justice for all neither. They gave us some liberties, but yeah, I think they definitely need to teach true American history. If you're going to teach history, don't glamorize it, make it all fancy and put the gloss over it. Teach the rugged, rough. Teach the true American history. Teach that There is no written account of cannibalism except amongst the Pilgrims in America. Ever. No written.
I think that they should make sure that people know that. I think it was all the way up until what, Lincoln, that all the presidents had slaves.
No, not
Or was
all.
it
Oh
before
yes,
that?
yeah, no, they did. They all had slaves.
Like
Well, John
and the
Quincy Adams
worst,
Jr. didn't have slaves. He wasn't a president though. He was his father.
the worst president to have slaves was George Washington.
Oh yeah, he literally pulled the teeth out of his
Exactly.
slaves and put them in his mouth. He made dentures out of their teeth. And I
they don't
remember,
talk about
and
it.
guess what? I remember learning that they were wooden teeth.
Yep.
But they're not
the
wooden.
they're
They're
not
not wood. They're not
at
wood.
all.
That's real human teeth. That's real. Them brown teeth you
What's
see
funny
on
is
display is
not
real
funny,
human
but
teeth.
what's crazy is that when I was growing up learning about him in school, they didn't talk about that he had slaves. They didn't talk about any presidents had slaves at all. They did not talk about that. They said that there was slavery, but they never said the president had slaves.
Oh yeah.
And they never talked
wanted the
about
president
George
to be a
Washington
hero.
was pulling out teeth and
Wicked. He was wicked.
Yeah.
Wicked man. Yeah, he was a wicked man.
Speaking also
Jefferson
black,
too. Jefferson too.
Him I raping people. Anyway, so parents now in Utah are allowing. I'm just gonna read this. Parents are allowed to remove students from Black History Month lessons. This is in Utah.
But you know what? I've
charter
noticed
school.
parents. Yeah, that was just ridiculous. It's like there's without African Americans in this country, there is no history.
Yes.
There's no history.
To sum it up best, my man from the Daily Show, Trevor Noah, said it best.
Yeah.
Without people of color, there would be no seasoning in the world.
There would be no people. You get in deeper. Without people of color, there would be no people.
So,
and this is a fact. This is a scientific fact.
So
the word is human.
Yeah.
The word is human, right? Word is human. Okay. What does hue mean?
Hue, you're talking about H-U-E? Hue as in
That's
color?
exactly where the word comes from. These are two words, compound words put together. This is what human means. What does hue mean?
I just told you color.
All right. Color man.
I got you. I feel you, dog. I feel you.
I mean, I ain't making it up. This is their word. This is their word for it.
So
their word is hue man. You know what I'm saying?
Officials in Utah charter schools said few families asked their child be excluded from Black History Month. So, like, my whole thing is, okay, this is the type of shit that made me mad. Not mad, but like I get confused because people always, saying, "Oh, don't talk about race." Oh, like people tell me, "Ty, oh, why you always bring up race?" It is February 13, 2021. And people are still not accepting Black people. It is 2021.
All their history. Not accepting them. They don't even want to hear. They don't want to hear about their ass.
Like this posted on the 6th, and people are like, "Nah, I don't want my kids to learn about Black history."
But what's crazy? But you want your kids to benefit. So if your kid need a blood transfusion, you want them to benefit from the blood transfusion, but a Black man came up with that. If your kid need a open heart transplant or surgery, you want them to benefit from that, and a Black man came up with that. Yeah. Your kid got a cell phone in his pocket, the computer chip in the cell phone, a Black man came up with that.
I got one even better. I talked about it last week.
You don't want your motherfucking kid to run a red light and get smashed by a car. That's why there's lights, red, green, yellow, to show them how to drive. A Black man came up with that.
Black man came up with the damn ice cream scoop.
Even when you sit your ass on the toilet to take a shit, a Black man came up with that. Like, come on. Like, but you don't want them to learn about Black history? This is the history of America, though. I'm not even talking about around the world, astrology, astronomy, mathematics, all the other stuff we came up with. And poetry. You
know what else is I've been meaning to come on here and talk about this shit, too. So I was scrolling through Facebook. I think I talked to you about this off mic. So you scroll through Facebook. Then I'm talking to Wolf Nation. You scroll through Facebook, and you get all these random videos, whatever. I came across this video of this white dude talking about the History Channel, and he was saying how when they do like they got
I
that
know what you're
show
about to talk
Ancient,
about.
they got
Ancient
that
Alien.
show Ancient
Ancient
Alien.
Alien.
And,
Yeah, Ancient Aliens. I know what you was gonna say.
so I used to watch these shows when I was younger, and then I stopped watching it because it was just it was just boring. It didn't make any sense to me. But then he goes, when they go to a European country, it's always the people made it. But in African countries or black countries, black and brown countries, aliens made it. And I sat there and thought about it. I lost the video. I wanted to save it so I could comment on it and share it, but I ended up losing because once you close your phone or whatever, it like loses it.
Oh yeah, you lost in the source.
So I'm like, man, like this white dude's absolutely right.
He was absolutely right.
And what's crazy, what's even worse though, is that I also heard, I think either that same day, probably that same day on that same week, I listen to black radio a lot, and one of the guys I was listening to said it was Clay Kane, and he said, black people always talk about all the stuff that happens in their communities, and it's always get ignored or overlooked, or they're just rambling, or it's conspiracy theory, blah blah blah. But when a white person says the exact same thing, they're profound, they're so intelligent, they're so progressive. This, you know what I mean? So like for him to say that, I was like, well, I remember, like it clicked in my head right after I heard him say that. I remember 4 years ago, right after Charlottesville, the dude, I think it was either right before Charlottesville or after Charlottesville. I was watching what's the dude with the no neck? I always forget his name, the black brother.
Yeah, I know you're talking about
the real smart dude. I can't remember his name.
His name is
So
he just had him on Black Lightning. He's on Black Lightning.
So episodes. He was talking to this white dude who said, basically white Jews built all the pyramids in Africa. That's what he was saying.
Yeah,
in ancient Egypt. So I want to say his name starts with an R. I don't know why. Does it start with an R? Anyway,
Roland Martin.
Yeah, So Roland Martin was like, looked at him. He was like, in ancient Egypt? He was like, yeah. He was like, nah. He was like, black people did it. And the dude was like, no, black people couldn't have made that. And he was like, why not? Like, black people he was like, black people made science. We made, we created math, science. We made the pyramid. He was like, no. He was like, white people made that. And it like blew my mind.
Oh yeah, I seen that interview. That interview.
You remember that interview? I'm probably saying the word, but you get the gist of it.
No, you're saying it right. You're saying it right. And he hit him with, but the Roland Martin hit him with mad knowledge, and the dude was like, "No."
He got all confused.
He was still white people. But you
know
know what?
He said Jews, but I know he said white people made it.
He said white people. But check it out. He was talking about the Jewish community. But check this out. Up until 1968, America taught that in schools. So you have to remember, it wasn't until the Kemetic community from Kemet, that's the real name of Egypt. Egypt is a Greek name for what the land is really called, Kemet. So they the Kemet Council in Kemet came over to the United States like, listen, we are black. We always been black. So you can stop running around saying that white people ruled Egypt. Because when you think about it, only in America does white people rule Egypt.
Yes. Actually, only in America, white people think that Egypt's not even in Africa.
Right. Everywhere else around the world, people knows. Even even until 1949, there was no place called Israel. That was a part of Africa, Sinai Peninsula. Egypt gave that to, because they didn't want a war with America over this small piece of land. They gave it to, America or Israel. But yeah, that was actually a part of Africa as well. You gotta remember, there was no Middle East until 1901, between 1901 and 1908. It was just Northern Africa. You know what I'm saying? So Iraq, Iran, all that was just Northern Africa. Until the early 1900s, when America said it's the Middle East. So there's a lot behind the reason why we only see, every time we see Egyptian in cinema, they did a movie called Egyptian Gods.
Oh yeah, Gods of Egypt. Talking about Gods of Egypt with
Gods of Egypt.
Gerard
and they had
Butler.
one black god in there. He was supposed to be the first god, but he was feminine. It had a man. The only black god in there was the feminine one, the timid one. Everybody else was strong, whether they was warrior types, and he was, timid and feminine. They had to feminize the only black god in the movie. You gotta remember, all the Egyptian gods are black. None of them were white. None of them were white.
You're correct.
But you think about it, and those gods are the same gods that they worship in Rome and Greek, and none of them were white. None of them.
You're right.
They were black gods. Apollo, Osiris, Zeus, all of them were black gods. And Thor, Thoth. You think about Thoth and Thor are the same god. But Thoth comes from Egypt. He's a black god from Egypt. You know what I'm saying? He had a hammer and the lightning. And Thoth, that's the name. And it just translated to Thor over in Norse region. You know what I mean? Same god. I'm just saying, like, they do that all the time, though. But it was, like I said, until 1968, the Kemetic Council had to come and literally go before the world and was like, no, we're black. We've been black. You can stop saying it. You know what I mean? Ancient Egyptians are black. You got to remember, the Arab, the Arabian nation, that conquered Egypt, didn't do that. That was 900 years ago. So before that, you know what I'm saying? Before Alexander and all of them came in there and tried to conquer it, because they came in there during the later times of Egypt's life, during the end of the dynasties. But in the beginning of the dynasties, the cousin of you think of somebody sitting on the throne in Egypt, somebody sitting on the throne in Sudan, they were always related. And I don't know if you ever seen Sudanese people. They far from white. You know what I'm saying? They far from white. You know what I'm saying? They chocolate. They dark brown. You know what I'm saying? So they would usually be relatives. The same thing with the first person to come over to Hawaii and settle Hawaii. When when the Japanese they were coming to invade, he sent back to Africa. He sent back to Sudan actually, and his cousin sat on that throne. There was 3 thrones, and his cousin sat on that throne, and he sent back for ships and things he needed for war against the Japanese. You know what I'm saying? This is why the people in Hawaii, the Hawaiian natives, look like regular black people. You know what I'm saying? This is why Jimmy Fly Snicker looked like black with he just looked like another Rick James looking brother. You know what I'm saying? he just had long silky hair like Rick James. You know what I'm saying? But that's what I'm saying. That's why they look like that. But them thrones are connected.
So this is in them taking it. This is in Utah. I just when I heard this, I wasn't even surprised, to be honest. Like, I wasn't even surprised at all, because we live in a world we live in a country.
I'm about to say, and this society. It's not all around the world.
It's where people, like, on the surface, it's all sunshine, sunshines and rainbows, and everything's all sugar coated and sweet. But under the surface, it's really, cutthroat, racist, and bigoted and divided, and it's really, really sad, because people are always talking about like Biden kept saying, oh, this is not the country it should be. This is not who we are. No, it is. This is exactly who we are, because we teach the wrong stuff in school. We have different priorities for like here's an example. Like, I watch Bill Maher.
Yeah, I like that show.
And
I like it. I've been watching it for years.
He talked about his last show yesterday, and he talked about how every single politician always talks about families, and he was like, how to get the working family. He's like, yeah, that's all fine and dandy, but what about all the single people or the single parents that work in this country, which is actually facts.
A lot. Yeah, a lot. Yeah.
There's a lot of single people with no kids, and there's a lot of single people that have, one or two kids. But a lot of politicians only focus on, mom, dad, and child, family.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
grassroots. They call it grassroots.
So,
yeah.
And that's just like, it's just a messed up thing that we live with every day. Like I talked about it last week about how the whole stimulus package, putting it at 50K was, to me, was a bad idea, because you're hurting a lot of people. Not just, my theory in my head was the whole people in the healthcare system, like people who are the frontline workers, the CNAs, the nurses who work damn near every day during this pandemic, and now they can't get any aid that they needed. A lot of them, barely saw their kids, lost family members, lost tons of stuff, and now they're not getting what, you know what I mean? Like, it's just really fucked up. But let's move on to a light note, because I'm tired of all this stupid sad shit. This has been sad after sad after sad and disappointing. like like we just did, how many stories? We just did, what, 4 trending topics?
Yes. Man, they all rolled off each other.
Yeah. Let's go to the last one, the last one, and then we're gonna get into some good shit. And then we're gonna take a break. So Justin Timberlake came out. So, like, if you don't know, if you've been living on the rock, Britney Spears was trending because Hulu, FX, I think it's FX or Hulu, came out with
it's on Hulu though. It's on Hulu.
Yeah, they came out with a documentary.
FX.
It was all free domain stuff, so it wasn't her that came out with it. It was all stuff that was out there. They just put a whole bunch of clips together and had somebody speak over it. I didn't watch it. I'm just telling you what I heard. So basically, he came out. People were bashing Justin Timberlake because a lot of shit came out about what he was doing to Britney. So he came out with a tweet that apologized to Britney and Janet Jackson, because he showed Janet Jackson chocolate nipple on the Super Bowl back in the day.
Yeah, that also was a mistake.
I don't know if it was a mistake, but at the same time, he didn't really apologize though. He didn't really apologize
because it was a mistake.
Yeah, but he still should have. He still should have apologized.
But that was also his girl.
How many times did you watch it?
Just the once.
You just watched it once?
Yeah, I didn't see a little saggy little titty.
What's wrong with saggy titties? Wait, hold on, stop. What's wrong with saggy? What's wrong?
Nothing. I just don't want to keep looking at Janet Jackson's breasts.
What's wrong with Janet Jackson? First of all, you're talking about
absolutely nothing. Janet Jackson is beautiful.
Okay.
She's always been beautiful.
Don't you be disrespecting my dream girl, okay?
I mean, she ain't as good looking as Rebe, but she's beautiful.
Janet Jackson will always be beautiful, okay? Always.
That's what I just said. She's beautiful. But I said she don't look as good as Rebe, because Rebe is the one that kept herself natural, and she still looks gorgeous. That's the older sister. She bad as hell.
I thought Rebe was the youngest one.
No, Rebe is the oldest one, the one who left.
Oh. So
no, Janet is the youngest. Janet's the youngest girl.
No, I thought there was one more. There's one more that's young.
There's a younger kid, but Janet's the youngest girl.
Oh.
There's only 3 girls. It's Rebe, LaToya, and Janet.
So this tweet, this is Justin Timberlake. I think he did it on, was it Instagram? Maybe it was Instagram. Said, I've seen the messages, tags, comments, and concerns, and I want to respond. I am deeply sorry for the times in my life where I acted and contribute to the problems, where I spoke out of turn or did not speak up for what was right. I understand that I fell short in these moments and in many others and benefited from a system that condones misogyny and racism. I
Oh my God.
specifically want
He is really going too far. I'm sorry.
because he want to get
I'm just
invited to the barbecue, man. Relax.
oh man, he's crying a river. Come on, he's crying. Come on, Justin. Now you crying me a river now. What is he apologizing for? This is what I want to know. Are you apologizing for being a teenage kid, messing with another teenage girl, y'all the same age, and going through dumbass teenage lover shit? That's what you're apologizing for?
Dude, I don't know. Let me read this.
I'm just saying, because that's when he messed with Britney. They were still teenagers. And they were in the public eye. I remember. And I think they was put together.
Yeah, but there was probably, but also
I think they were put together. I don't even think they met like naturally. I don't think they met.
Yes, they did. They met on the Mickey Mouse Club.
No, I mean I think they were put together. You understand what I mean? Like, hey, it'll be look good if Justin and Britney went out together. Let's put them together. Let's make them a couple. They do that in Hollywood. It's not far-fetched.
Well, we gotta watch. So, we gotta watch the show. We didn't watch.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying. On that note, and then you got him dating Janet and having a mishap where her thing slips when he goes to pat her breast or whatever he's supposed to do. I forgot how it came out, but yeah, I remember what happened. But they were dating. That wasn't even a secret. He was smashing Janet that during that time. That's why they were on stage together. You know what I'm saying?
See, you're the only person I ever heard say that. I never heard anybody else say that.
Yeah, really. He was smashing Janet.
So, all right. So he goes on to say
that's right after not to cut you off. That's right before, I want to say, was it before Jermaine Dupri? It might have been right before she married Jermaine Dupri. Or if it's not right before,
I gotta be before Jermaine Dupri because she was with Jermaine Dupri.
Like, yeah, I mean, it's right before. It's not like because they was only dating for like 4 months. Justin and Janet, they was only dating for like 4 months. But it's like right before. It's like right after Q-Tip, right before Jermaine Dupri. You know what I mean? It's like it's a span of time. Like, you know what I mean, where she went through a couple dudes and then got married. You know what I'm saying? So I think it was Q-Tip, Justin Timberlake, Jermaine Dupri. You know what I'm saying?
But she then she broke up with Q-Tip and they got married to that billionaire. And they had
she broke up with Jermaine Dupri, you mean?
Yeah, Jermaine Dupri. Yeah. And then married that billionaire, had a baby.
Well, because Jermaine Dupri made her come out and be vocal about her other kid that she didn't want to talk about, the one with the DeBarge brother. You know what I'm saying? I forgot his name. Not L, but the other brother.
I heard about that. And that's why Michael didn't like the DeBarge brothers.
Yeah, well, that's what the song is about. Let's wait a while. Let's wait a while before we go. The Janet Jackson song. So anyway, but Rebe raised that baby though. You know what I mean? And I think he wanted her to come out and be open about it because the kid was like, at the time when she actually, admitted it. And after that, it was like, I think she was like 19, 20.
Didn't she admitted it on
Well, yeah. Well, yeah, with Jermaine Dupri sitting right by her side. Well, he wanted her
wasn't it on the Jackson show? Didn't she admit it on the Jackson show though?
Oh, she might have up there as well, but I seen her do it on another show, interview. She was talking about it. Might have been. Was it Oprah? It could have been. I'm not sure who was interviewing her at the time. Katie Couric. I don't know who it was. But someone, she opened up about it. You know what I mean? And the kid was already nice. She was the daughter, was already like 19 at the time. You know what I'm saying? About to be 20. And Rebe raised her. You know what I'm saying? But she knew Janet was her mother. Rebe didn't raise her like I'm your mother. She knew Janet was her mother. Janet went and visited, you know what I mean? But she wanted to keep her secret, you know what I mean? Keep her hidden, because she didn't want people, she didn't want to be in the limelight. She didn't want to going through what Michael was going through, you know what I'm saying? With his his kids.
Let's take a little break and then we'll be right back and we're gonna talk about some video games. And we're back here at the dinner table, here with my brother, Deuce. And I just want to let you know, I listened to one of your songs. It was, I don't know what you call it. I called it, I don't think I had a name, but it was I called it Burning Desire, I think I called it. And it was
what's the name of the song?
Hello, my love. I've been thinking of you. You
Oh,
blow my mind with that
you
sweet
got that still?
perfume. Yeah, hell yeah, I got that. I still pump that shit.
Damn.
What is it? 50 white tees. What is it?
Yeah,
50
I got
white
my boy. That's my boy Brown singing up
tees.
there.
Yeah, man. That's
My
my
boy
shit right
Brown
there.
singing. Wow. Yeah, you got the classics, man.
I'm missing. The one song
You
I
digitizing
lost.
it?
I don't. What do you mean? It's on my phone. What do you mean digital? It's digital on my phone.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You got them digital. It's off the CD because I think I gave it to you in a CD back
Yeah,
then.
he gave me on the CD. But for some reason, I
Yeah.
don't have the when you did that
Push it.
yeah, that push it joint. That's my
Damn.
joint. I love that song. I was playing that song every day. Like on my CD, I was playing that song every day. Loud. Your boy get it by the half, get it by the whole.
Yeah.
So we're gonna talk about some video games real quick because me and you got a couple new video games.
Yeah.
So we got Werewolf. Shit, I don't remember the name of it. What's it called?
Yeah. We got Werewolf. Not for whatever it's called, but this is Werewolf. It's the main title.
Yeah.
We got Hitman and Phoenix.
Watch Dogs 3.
Watch Dogs Legion and
Immortal,
Phoenix Rising.
Yeah, Immortal Phoenix.
Mortal Phoenix Rising. Now, what do you think? Before we go through Mortal Phoenix Rising, because to me that's the best one we're going to talk about. So, but what do you think about the Hitman? Let's start from there.
I still haven't played Hitman.
You still haven't played it. All right, I tried it in VR.
Yeah.
It's a little adjustment. You know what I mean? You're gonna have to get used to it because you're playing with the controller. So even when you punch, you gotta extend with the controller. When you go to punch,
Like what controller? The wands or the controller?
No, you're playing with the controller. They don't have wand support yet. So you're playing with the controller.
That's weird as hell.
But you can extend. If you put it in your left hand, you extend your left hand. You put it in your right hand. Well, I did it the wrong way. Put it in your right hand, you extend your right hand. You put it in your left hand, you extend your left hand. You know what I mean? So you can move each hand individually depending on which hand you got the controller in. You know what I'm saying?
That's the dumbest shit I ever heard in my life.
Yeah. I mean, I guess they try to make it easy, because we're like Resident Evil, the way Resident Evil did it, which it worked with Resident Evil 7. You know what I mean? It works when you use the controller, when you aim in with the gun and the things you have to do, it works because it's minimal things. It already acquired that, it already worked with the controller before they went to VR. This was built with VR in mind. So it's kind of weird. Like I said, it's an adjustment.
So they built this game with the idea of VR. But
yes.
Didn't use the wand. That don't make any sense.
I don't know why they didn't do wand support. It's kind of weird. I wish they did wand support. But like I said, like if you go to punch somebody, you extend with the controller and throw the jab.
Someone's gonna throw that controller. I know someone threw that controller.
It's gonna slip and hit the TV.
Because people out here got sweaty ass hands.
Yeah. And when you go to choke somebody, you put it around their neck. But it'd be so awkward that you eventually just wind up playing outside of VR. But the graphics inside of VR is just as sharp as it is outside of it. It's amazing inside VR.
To be honest, I still think the best VR game that I've played with the controller, I want to stress that, with the controller is Star Wars Rogue Squadron. Rogue. Star Wars.
Oh yeah,
Rogue.
that was amazing.
But with the wands, has to be Iron Man, which we still gotta buy that game. I don't know why we're waiting so long to buy that.
No. With the wands. Oh man.
I'll say Star. Actually, I'll say, huh?
Blood and Truth. Yeah. I still haven't played the game that good. It's that good. Since I thought that was the best. The story pacing, the action, the cover when you shoot.
I still gotta beat that game. I still haven't beat that.
Oh yeah, that game was amazing, and it ran so smoothly. There was no hiccups. Like it really wasn't no glitching. When I want to shoot, it aimed where I aimed every time.
What game I would give it to for Juan would be Darth Vader. But
that came later.
Darth Vader for me, it glitches. Like every time I play, like if I get to if I'm climbing like a ladder, my hand will either go all weird and my character will be out the screen for some raw reason. Like I'll be in the screen, but I'll move my character and my character will go out the screen, and then my screen will turn back.
You put your above you? Did you put
I put it on top of my TV, but for some reason it just don't.
But is the TV higher than you? Is it taller than you?
Yeah, probably not.
It needs to be above you at least about 2 feet.
How you want me to? Like I can't make it any higher. Deuce,
Yeah, you stick it to the wall.
I can't stick it to the wall. But like, I gotta. When I move, I'm gonna fix it. I'm gonna figure it out when I move.
All right, so you know what you can get when next time you get the little Velcro things that you get from Walmart. You know what I mean?
When I move, I'm gonna do it. When I move.
So that's what I said. When you move, or you can just build a little shelf. You know what I mean? For like $3-4, a little one for that. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So if it's up higher than your head and it's pointing down, it's getting your whole body. You don't have to worry about the camera missing. That's what's happening. When you raise your arm to go climb the ladder, the camera don't see the top of it only see this part of your arm. So your hand bends back down. So the camera is trying to adjust why is his arm missing? So it's putting it back and it gives it that twisted, So that's what's happening.
My second favorite game is Wipeout.
Oh, that was amazing. Drivers Club, but you got to get the disc because they don't make it anymore. But if you get the disc, oh my God, it's amazing. That's one of the best racing games. I mean, Gran Turismo is good, but you can't race anybody. I mean, you only can race your ghosts. But Drivers Club is a full-fledged campaign racing game.
You gotta get the VR. There's 2 versions. Everybody,
yes, you have to get the VR version of Drivers Club.
Get the VR version of Drivers Club. So like,
that's the one that they shut down.
Yeah.
So when I say it's full-fledged, it has everything you want to do in a racing game, but in VR. It's amazing.
Yeah, I plan to get it when I move. So we got that. Watch Dogs. I kind of like this one a little bit more than Watch Dogs 2. Watch Dogs 3.
I just be playing it again today. It's fun. It's so fun.
I picked the black dude with the afro. I don't know if that was in yours. The first guy you picked.
Jamaican guy?
He's not Jamaican. He got an afro.
Oh no. Yeah, my dude got an afro, but he's a Jamaican dude.
Yeah, my dude's not Jamaican.
He's like 64. He's like 61-year-old doctor.
Nah, my dude like 24.
All right.
He like sound like he
African?
No, he British, but he just he sound like he don't have a deep voice. Like I don't know how to describe it. Like he's like more
light voice.
Yeah, he has a light voice. He's probably like your complexion. He got an afro. I like the game. Like I did a couple missions. The driving takes some getting used to, but that's how it is in all of them.
Yeah, that you know what, and I thought that was good because I've never driven in English streets. I'm sure in real life the driving would take some getting used to.
No, it's not about. It's not about the on the street.
I know what you're saying. It's about the way the cars handle, But I'm just saying that that little thing, the way it makes the way the cars handle, actually made it kind of like weird. The driving, like you said, it's a little bit. But I think you can go in there and tweak it. I just left it the way it was.
I don't like you can't change the camera though. I don't know if you can do it in the menu, but you can't do it on the control.
Oh, yeah, I didn't even try. You couldn't change it in the other one though.
Yeah, I want to say in the first one you were able to. I didn't play the second one long enough to find out.
Oh, I beat the second. Second one I like that one the best so far.
Also, too.
I like it.
Go.
I was just saying I like this one. I like this. I like part 3.
Also, too, I want to give an update on because last week I said I was playing Spider-Man Miles Morales for Black History Month.
Oh,
I beat it. I beat the game on Wednesday night. I beat the game.
What'd you think about it?
I thought it was amazing. I want to play it again. I'm about to hit the game start.
I'm definitely gonna play it.
It was, to be honest, I didn't even play the first Spider-Man, and this game, it was just it's rare for me. I'm speaking for me only. Okay, people. Okay, Wolf Nation, speak for me only. That video games as a black man that I connect to. So when I play this game, one, it takes place in Harlem, where I'm from. You play as this young black kid who loves superheroes, obviously. Like, he wants to be a superhero, and he's given this great opportunity to be a superhero. So he's doing all the stuff that he can to protect his family and his friends. The music is amazing. The language, the
right on.
the neighborhoods that
Even
they
the
have,
characters.
the character designs.
Yeah, I was about to say, even the character design. When you see, this is one thing I noticed about this particular game, which was different from the other Spider-Man. When you see a black woman in this game, she like looks like a black woman. Like, she has the shape, the hips, the lips, like everything was like the glow, the skin, the glow from the skin that they had. Like, everything was really detailed. Like, from the first Spider-Man, like, it was just a black NPC, a woman or a man, whatever, but they all like kind of like, it wasn't too much detail emphasized on them. But in this game, I like that they actually went the extra mile, because you're going to be up and close with all these black characters. And, black, when I say black, I mean Hispanic as well.
And I like that they put the broken Spanish in there. Like, I loved it. And people who are watching this, you could feel free to hit me up on social media and correct me if I'm wrong. This has to be the first game to have sign language in it. I don't know another game. I don't. Wow. I don't know another game that has sign language.
Well, that had a predominantly a real character that was deaf, that you actually can interact with.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he actually knew a little bit of sign language. He was nice at it. It was dope.
I don't know no other game that had that. I really don't. I don't know. And I've been playing games for a long time. I don't know any other games. So, like, people watching this.
Spoiler, I think that's going to be his girl in the next one. You know what I'm saying? Because they were kind of flirting back and forth. If you constantly interact with her, you can kind of flirt with her back and forth for basically a little bit.
I'm gonna find it in my new game. I gotta go back and go look for it. But I like the you're able to play the Christmas music.
Right, you can put on real records of real artists. Like, he goes to the record player and puts on songs that I knew. Like, you know what I'm saying? He put on an old school song. I was like, oh, I remember that record. Then my mother had that record. You know what I'm saying? With that guy picture right on it. You know what I'm saying?
Like, it was amazing. Like, I loved it.
He was a producer. He was a hip hop producer. He made beats. He had a little studio in his crib. You know, I mean, his father and his uncle they was into rap. There was a rap group back in the day. It was so dope. The story was so intricate, intertwined with other stories. It was they took a step way beyond the first Peter.
Even though the first one, this one was obviously
amazing. Don't get me wrong. The first one is amazing.
I haven't played the first one, but I know the first one was longer. I think it was like twice as long as this one. This one wasn't that long.
It wasn't that much longer, because what was this? What you played? It was like 12 hours?
Yeah, it wasn't that long. Probably like 12 hours.
The first one was like 14 hours, so 2 hours more. But then they added the DLC. Well, what happened was they added the DLC, which was about an hour and a half. So you had 4 DLCs after the fact. So yeah, they added those. Then when you put it all together, it was like 18, 20 hours. They're gonna do the same with this one though. We're gonna get we're gonna get DLC for Miles Morales. You know that. It's gonna be another 4-pack.
I loved it. I thought it was a fantastic game. And just to be able to have that connection with a game was remarkable. Like, only other game that I connected with like that on that level was Assassin's Creed Origins. Only because, like, Assassin's
Creed Origins, you was able to make your guy black.
But like, not like this, where like
where you had to play as the regular character. Yes, Assassin's Creed Origins and Miles Morales. And I think Miles Morales more than any game.
Don't get me wrong. Like, really, Assassin's Creed Origins was, like, to me, was an amazing game.
Yeah, I was waiting for that game for 10 years.
But the Spider-Man Morales was, like, amazing. Like, it was like everything I wanted, because it was Harlem. Like, I explored a little bit. There's that mission, you go into the little side mission, you go to the bodega, You know what I mean? They got
Yeah.
the little, you got to say.
And those are real locations. That's what I loved about it. Like one thing they did when they made these two games, when they made Spider-Man and Spider-Man Miles Morales, is that all the locations are locations. Like they really detail. Like you can go to, you know, and one of the ones in the original Spider-Man, you can actually go to like places you know, like you would visually be like, oh, I was there. You know what I mean? I walked right by that spot.
Now,
or that restaurant.
like, as I don't think it'll be as 100% detailed, but it'll be close to it. It'll be like 75%. You know what I mean?
Right,
Like
right. It won't be the name of the store because you got to pay the person.
But not even that. Like it'll
that.
be like the building won't look say, but it'll be a building there. You know what I mean? Like, or like there's a part in where the train, I want to say it's like 125th, no 135th in Broadway. It's like in the beginning of the game, when you become Spider-Man, basically, when you're fighting by yourself. That area is that's how it looks. You know
yeah.
Like it's set up the right way, but I'm saying is like it won't have the same exact buildings, but
because yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I want the same
But
exact.
the way it's set up and laid out is the way it's set up and laid out.
Yeah, yeah, like kind of like what GTA does with their games. Like it won't.
Well, yeah, you know what? I think they changed a little bit, but for Miles. But see, you haven't played the first one. When you go to the first one, it's accurately mapped. That was the sell. The big sell was like it was accurately mapped. And I think it took so much time for them to do that one that they decided to go, you know, a little bit more loose fitting when it came to mapping the Miles Morales Harlem game. But the one in the first Spider-Man is the universities, the colleges, like the libraries, the bar with no name is in it. Like it's accurately mapped. The way they did the
Miles Morales, I can't remember how the map looked. The map is just Harlem. I know it's some of what's the park? Central Park.
Yeah, you can get into upper excuse me.
Now you're gonna have me yawning now.
Upper Manhattan, yeah. But it's not just so basically, you're basically in Harlem for the most part.
All right.
I think did you go out of Harlem once though?
Nah,
you had to go help Spider-Man, right?
You go
to help Spider-Man in Queens real quick? Or he came to help you?
He comes to
help him.
To the very beginning of the game, like the opening?
No, I'm talking about in the middle, like a side story.
No.
Okay.
No.
So you stay in Harlem in the whole game. You stay in Manhattan. Yeah, but the game was amazing.
Yeah. So we're gonna talk about Phoenix Rising. Immortals Phoenix Rising.
Well, we have to talk about the werewolf game first.
All right, so let's talk about werewolf game. It's okay. I like it.
It's okay. That's the best you can give it, and that's being nice about it.
I don't like the voice acting sucks in the game.
Yes, but see, if I would have known that who made the game, I would have never purchased it. I found out that after buying, the game, that it was made by the people who made Stitch. I don't know if you ever played those stealth games. Stitch 1, Stitch 2. It's like a little imp. You like a little imp for a little imp. Like a little imp, a little green imp with a hat, and you go around, pickpocketing and stealth.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
Like Lilo and Stitch?
No. It's not Lilo and Stitch. It's STY. You know what I mean? K. Something like that.
Oh, with the little green dude.
Yeah. The little green guy. That's the people who made this game. That's why it plays like that. The stealth, it plays exactly the same way. You know what I mean? It plays like you gotta sneak. I like the part that you can transform from a man to a wolf to a werewolf. All that's fine. The fighting is fine. The dialogue is terrible. The only one that's good is the main character. I guess he's the best. The dialogue.
Not even, but like spoilers. So like, there's a part at the beginning of the game where your wife dies, and it was like no emotion, like at all. Like there was no emotion. Like his wife dies in front of him,
Well, no, he rages out and kills somebody. That's why he leaves.
Yeah, I know that. After. But before that, before he rages out, he goes to his wife. He goes,
He's holding her dead body.
Yeah, he goes, oh no, this can't be real. No. Oh no. And then he goes to the next scene where he starts raging out. I was like, I know someone didn't say that was okay. I know that. Like me as a consumer, as a like person who consumes games and movies and TV shows, I know a director was like, oh yeah, that's fine. Yeah, dude, just like that.
Yeah, who the hell?
He was
like somebody, they literally phoned those. I swear, I think they did this when they did this because they was making this game for the most part during the pandemic. They probably literally phoned. You know how people say some people phone it in? It's a term where it sounds like they on the phone delivering their lines, but they probably literally phoned it in. So they weren't in like they weren't there with each other to act.
Oh, you're saying like they don't like see what the scene is, like they don't know.
Right, they probably literally just phoned in their lines, like we're on the phone, like the literal like term, like actually did phone it in, like you know what I mean, like hey, oh no, this can't be, you know what I mean, like the way he delivered the line was right.
It was so bad. I was like,
I was like, this is some bullshit.
Like the action is okay. It's an okay action game, but like I was just like,
no. Yeah, the graphics is okay. I just wish it was more
like playing that. Like I played that first, right? So like after I beat Spider-Man, then I played that, and I was just like, these graphics aren't that good. Like no,
not
Spider-Man. So after the games we just mentioned, that has the worst graphics in this generation of games. And that game just came out like recently, and it has
came out a couple days last week.
It has like first generation PS4 graphics to keep it real.
Yeah,
like, you know,
not even PS4. Not even a PS3 game. Not even a PS3 game, Xbox 360. I've seen better games on Xbox 360 and PS3.
Yeah, like it's
like
I was surprised the mouth moved, to keep it real with you, when they were talking.
Right. And they don't really move that well.
Yeah.
I'm playing Metal Gear Rising, you know, the one we that game looks amazing on Xbox One, you know what I mean? But it's a 360 game. Or another good game, they actually remastered it now, I think. They're gonna remaster it.
You're talking about Crisis?
What's the game what they had, it's kind of like it's a Capcom game. Sora's Wrath.
Oh, they're gonna remaster that?
Yeah, they're gonna remaster that. You know what I'm saying? But that game still looks amazing. It still looks amazing on the Xbox One. And
I thought they were gonna make a part 2 of that. I really did. Yeah. I was hoping they made a part 2.
They kind of like finished it off because all the DLC. Because remember, it was episodes that came out after the main story.
Like you fight like Ryu and you fight Akuma on the moon.
Fight for 1,000 years.
But like they still could have came out with a part 2. Like it like even though they came out with DLC,
I'm sure they will. That's probably why they remastered it.
Because like it was such a good game. Like it was really over the top. But we're getting off the
all right. The games we talking about.
So that
we had to just talk about how crappy the graphics was in that game. That game was just terrible.
It was really, really bad. And the only thing that game really has going for it was
the werewolf. You being a werewolf.
Switching to the werewolf. You switch to a wolf for stealth, the little wolf. But then when you ready to attack and fight, you switch into the big wolf, like a werewolf. Switch to a little wolf to stealth. You can stay a man and you can do like stealth attacks as well. And then you switch to a werewolf to do attacks, and you got to press a button to do the speed attack or heavy attack. Like you switch between
your stance. You got to
switch your stance for speed attacks and heavy attacks.
Yeah. So they try to get a little intricate with the way it works. They didn't try to make it just an automatic hack and slash, which was okay. I think that it was okay, but they could have focused more on dialogue. I wouldn't even care about the graphics if the dialogue was good.
I thought, to be honest with you, I thought the story was going to be like you were an experiment, and then you break free, and they trying to like get you, kind of like what they did with
Wolverine. Wolverine.
Like Wolverine or like what's that not Inhuman. What's the one with the in pot no. What's the one with the dude with the black dude on the cover? On the
Marlo
part
Briggs?
no, he part two. It's part two. There's a black
Oh,
dude on the
Prototype.
cover. Yeah, prototype.
Yeah,
Like kind of like Prototype. I thought it was gonna be like that. Like he was a they made him.
Oh, like Alex Mercer.
Yeah,
they experimented on him,
and then he ended up becoming a werewolf. Blah blah blah, and now he's trying to get revenge. That's what I thought it was gonna be. Not like there was
already werewolf.
Yeah.
Well, no, because this is a spin-off game. They took that story from a spin-off. I don't know if you ever see those stories, those games. It's like it's a big PC game. It's about vampires. Where you can go out, like it's an open world. You can you're a vampire and you get to like interact. You know what I mean? You got to feed. You know what I'm saying? You got to talk to the head vampire nation, and it's like it's a PC game. This is a spinoff from that. So it's just the werewolf part, you know what I mean, from that. So yeah, that's why it was already established. The story was already established in the vampire world. It's just that they didn't never do the werewolf one, you know what I mean? So that's what it was. So it's a spin-off game, you know what I'm saying? But they could have did way better. They had enough time to.
So let's get to
let's get to the real good stuff.
All right. So I do have an issue with the game now.
What? Which one game?
Immortal Phoenix Rising.
What? You found an issue? Let me talk. What's the issue?
I found the issue.
All right, what you got?
And maybe petty, I don't know. But this extends from what I was talking about with Miles Morales and Assassin's Creed Origins.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I haven't played the game that long, but from what I can tell, there are no people of color in there. Now, I know that because of where the game takes place, right?
Oh, okay.
Yes. So I get that. So I was happy the fact that you were able to make your character.
Right, me too. I did get on one part because it had Hermes in there, and and it was like Hermes was this white dude, and they always do that, but Hermes was really an African dude. So I was like, Hermes. They could at least made Hermes black. I mean, Messenger of the Gods, Hermes, father of medicine, Hermetic Oath, that was a black Egyptian dude. So, I'm talking about ancient Egypt, like all the way back before white people invaded. So,
but this one, I just like
unless it's another dude named Hermes. You know what I'm saying?
This one was so here's what now we were talking about the gods earlier. So like the people who, when they pray to a god, in my mind, their god, whoever they pray to, looks like whatever they look like.
Yeah, but Hermes was a man. He wasn't a god. Even in their story, Hermes is a man, not a god.
But isn't he a god-like person though?
No, he's a man who talks. He goes to man. He only has the shoes. He's a man that's able to talk, for man to the gods. That's why he's called the messenger of the gods. So he goes to the gods. The gods tell him, "Hey, tell man this," or he goes to man and then man tell God this. So he's that. He's the intermediate.
You got me yawning.
Yeah.
So I always try to keep that in consideration. Like people who make,
yes, of course. Now I understand that. Yeah, when you see your guy, you see your son.
So these people who make, this is supposed to take place in was it Greece, right?
Yeah, but you know what? The guy who makes these games, the head guy who makes all those Assassin's Creed is a black dude.
Yeah, but this ain't Assassin's Creed though.
Right. No, I'm just saying, like, head of Ubisoft, the guy who makes the games is a black guy.
Yeah, but this is a different one. It's not. This is a different branch of Ubisoft.
Oh yeah, I know. I'm just saying.
So I hear what you're saying, but so whoever made, they take in the mythology from a certain group of people,
Greek, Rome, Greek gods.
So, so anyway, so the story starts off basically. It's Zeus. Zeus and Prometheus. Prometheus is locked up. And
Prometheus, just to get some backstory, Prometheus was the one who gave fire to man, and angered Zeus because he gave us fire. You know what I'm saying? And taught us how to use fire. And he was mad. Zeus was mad, so he locks Prometheus up. That's just real history story, you know, for their mythos. You know what I mean? It ain't got nothing to do with the game. But that's the same story in the game.
But it is the same story in the game. They say that in the game too. So he Prometheus.
Yes,
right?
Prometheus
tells Zeus that if I could, because I think they're having a fight. Another god, angry gods are there to, you know, fight and
somebody broke out of Hades, a different god, not Hades himself. Which was Zeus' brother, another god, some type of demon god, and he's
we just started playing the game. I said we just started playing the game. So like he's coming out to, you know, destroy basically the world. So Prometheus makes a bet with Zeus that a human is going to save the world.
And save the gods.
And save the gods. And save the gods. He's going to save the world and save the gods.
And they save the gods, yes.
And Zeus takes the bet. He said that if Prometheus wins, he goes free. But if Zeus wins, he has to stay there longer, right? Or something like that.
Forever. Yeah, forever.
So Zeus and Prometheus are narrating the story.
Their banter back and forth is so good.
So they banter back and forth. They basically, as you progress through the story, when you reach a part, Prometheus will say something like, "Oh, she picks up a sword, blah blah blah," and it's sort of yada yada yada. And Zeus is like, "How the hell she get that sword? She can't grab that sword." You know what I mean? So like, it's really really well done. It's kind of like everything that we talked about this game before. So it is kind of like Legend of Zelda. It is kind of like, you know,
Assassin's Creed meets God of War meets
what's Kingdoms of Amalur, like has that kind of feel to it to me. I like the game so far. It's very easy pick up and play game. It's nothing complicated. You know,
I love the puzzles.
The puzzles to me, the puzzles are kind of complicated, only because like it doesn't tell you.
I love
what
puzzles,
to do.
so I love the puzzles.
So you gotta like kind of figure it out.
I'm a big puzzle when it comes to puzzles. I love puzzles. You know what I'm saying? So that was one thing that I missed in like the new iterations of the Tomb Raiders, where like in the old ones there were some great puzzles. Yeah. This one right here gives you that feel. So it gives you, when you go to do the puzzles, like there's some intricate puzzles, man. It had me stumped. Like I'm sitting there like, what the hell? There was one that had me stumped where you have to when you're trying to get into one of the pits to do another puzzle. Ironically, you got to open up one of the doors and you're in this little hidden cavern, and you're trying to light these 3 podiums to unseal the door.
Is it in the beginning of the game?
No. This is after. This is when you're doing them after you. Spoiler alert, but this is after you do the all the missions for, except for the last one, for Aphrodite's. So I don't know if you get that.
No, you way ahead.
Well, you get to choose which mission you do first. I did Aphrodite's first.
No, like you wait. I just got past the title screen.
Oh no, yeah, I passed over that. Yeah.
So you way ahead of me. So like,
I'm not going to tell you more about what's going on, but it's a really intricate puzzle.
Because there's a mission in the beginning of the game that was like that, where like you got to get into this door because you're trying to find Hermes. So you go in, and I miss what Prometheus said. So I'm like standing on this thing, and it unlocks something. I'm like, what the hell did this thing just unlock? I'm looking around. I walk off, and I see this thing, this pole, whatever that's supposed to. I was like, I know I gotta light that. So you shoot the arrow. I shoot it through the fire. But it's not lighting up because it's locked. I'm like, yo, how the hell unlocked? So I step on the thing again, but I'm not paying attention because it's like right in front of the fire. So I'm like, yo, what the hell is like, yo, I was stuck on that thing for like 20 minutes trying to figure it out. So like, I finally figured it out, whatever. But yeah, trust me.
Here's a good tip though. You're gonna be fighting these flying bird things. There's gonna be some stronger ones coming along. This is a good tip you're gonna need to know.
Oh yeah.
Because you're gonna think you can just shoot your damn arrow at it, but that shit gonna dodge every shot you try to shoot. It's gonna be tearing your ass up from afar. So the way you beat it is with your slow arrows, because it can't dodge them while you go on slow arrow. You gotta beat it with your slow arrows. That's just a tip. You know what I'm saying? Because it takes a while to beat.
The one you shoot and like you move around yourself.
Yes, you gotta beat it with the slow arrow. It's a boss fight. You'll see what I'm talking about. Right. It's hard. Yeah, I mean, if you just try to do it without it, you're not gonna make it.
Out of all the games we just recommended, we recommend getting Immortal Phoenix Rising, definitely.
Yeah, that game is amazing. I love it.
If you haven't,
when I was playing it, I even said to my wife, I'm going, I'm playing this game. I was like, I haven't played a game this good, like really engulfed me into the game where I'm having fun in a while. Like I've played games that like since Miles, Miles, I beat that immediately as soon as I got it. Like I immediately beat it. Like I didn't fuck around with that. I was that's all I played. So haven't had anything to play for a while. But this game is like more like fun. You know what I mean? It has like a more fun element to it because it's whimsical. The way they banter back and forth, the way it looks is very colorful. You know what I'm saying? I never played Breath of the Wild. I always wanted to play it. I actually have a Wii U, but they want like $50 for the game. I'm not paying that for that old ass game. I'm not doing it. So I'll wait till a sale come one day.
And it's for everybody. Like that game is
Yeah.
Immortal. Like everybody can play it. Like kids can play it. It's one of those games that's for everybody. So that Hitman isn't for everybody, but do recommend that. Watch Dogs 3. I wasn't a huge fan of Watch Dogs 2. I loved 1. I thought
2 was amazing.
I just can't get into it. I don't know what it is. I just can't get into it.
Yeah, 2 was so good. And you know what? When I first played it, I couldn't get into it neither. It was because I wanted to play as Aiden. That's why I couldn't get into it. I wanted to play as Aiden, the dude from the first one.
Yeah, but it's not even that. It's not even that. I don't know if it's because of the interface. I don't know if it's because of all the damn white lines that be popping up on the screen. I don't know what it is. I just can't deal with it. But part 3, I'm able to deal with. Like I'm like, all right, I can play this. But part 2, it just frustrates me. Like when I play it, I just don't want to play it. Like I'm trying to play it.
Part 2?
Yeah, part 2. Part 1, I love. Part 1.
Yeah, part 1 was amazing. Part 2, what I liked about part 3, part 3 is that for most of the missions, I just send in the drone, the little spider bot. And you can take dudes down with the spider bot. You know what I'm saying? You barely even have to run, really, really put yourself in harm. Now, there is permadeath in the game, unless you turn it off.
Yeah, I turned mine off because I didn't really understand it.
Yeah, I took permadeath mean if you die, that character dies. You can't play with that character no more.
Damn.
Yeah, so I turned it off. I'm playing it off too. But your character can go to jail still. Your character can get shot and go to the hospital. If you don't have any lawyers, doctors, judges on your team, they're going to spend a long time in jail before you can play with them again. Damn. You know what I mean? So you might not be able to play with them for days unless you have a lawyers or your team. Or if they get shot and they really bad.
They're trying to make it like real life. That means Grand Theft Auto going to be like that. Grand Theft Auto going to be like that then. If
probably.
Watch Dogs did it, and it's I don't know how the sales are for Watch Dogs 3.
Oh, it did good. It did good actually. It did good.
So that means Grand Theft Auto will have that in there. Remember you heard that here on this show. Grand Theft Auto is gonna have it where you like the next Grand Theft Auto online or whatever. They're gonna have it where you go to jail, and either you're gonna be in jail, or you gotta make a whole new character. And that character is going to spend time in jail until that character get out. They're probably going to make it where you got to spend like actual real freaking time in jail, like up to not real time, but like up to like a year max or some crazy shit, or like a month max. Like you can't play that character for like a month. That ain't going to be done. That's going to be crazy. Your character on level 50 with bad experience points, all that shit, and then you go to jail, you can't play with that character, you gotta make a whole new character over, and you can't play with that character for like 3 months, 6 months.
No, I mean, but it'll be something that'll really pull you into the story and try to make sure your character do survive and do things according to the way.
Because they already got it where your character, like if you die in the game, you come out of jail. You know what I mean? You come out of the what's it called? The hospital.
Right, but see, you never really died. So that's this in this game, there is permadeath.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
If you die in this game with permadeath from when you die, it's a wrap. You don't play with this character. You have to restart the game and find the character all over again if you can.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's just the NPCs are all as randomized. You'll probably never run into the same character twice. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy though. I like how you could be walking down the street at another part of town and you might see somebody you already recruited that's down with your team walking by, doing their regular life thing. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. Going to their job. You're like, oh, that's crazy. And like you click on him, like, yeah, he's going to his wife's house, or he's going to his mother's house for dinner. You're like, damn. You can follow him and everything.
Do you have a crib in there, or you just got to go where that
the HUD, the bar. They all have their own place, but see, that's what the thing was. Since they all meet up at the
but your main character that you play with, does that main character?
You play with anybody. You switch. You don't play with one character.
I thought you just play with one character and then you have. Oh, okay.
Nah, you play with anybody you recruit. You play with them, and you're gonna have to switch. Yeah, you're gonna have to switch. I done played with little Chinese lady. I done played with old white guy. I done played with like I said, the black Jamaican dude, older black Jamaican dude. I done played with the guy who looks like Cousin Kwame. You know what I'm saying? I done played with so many different people. Old white woman, you know what I'm saying? I played with her. She was like a CEO, but I played with her. She got it in too. She was nice. You know what I'm saying? She was nice. Each one has their own perks. So that's what you have to switch up. Like this I done played with cops. I got a cop on my team. You know what I'm saying? I got a cop, judges, lawyers, doctors, and a couple fighters. That's it.
You're like a
couple fighters.
You're becoming digital Donald Trump.
Yeah, well, you gotta have them on your team to succeed in this game. Because if you don't, look, I was playing with a mission recently, and one of the guys that I got, he was one of the regular character. He was just a regular character, nothing special about him, but he can fight. He wasn't a fighter, but he can fight martial arts. He was skilled in martial arts. He was very skilled in martial arts. And I'm playing the game, and I get shot up and get arrested. I get shot up and get arrested the first time it happened to me. I'm like, oh, my dude gonna be, how long he gonna be in jail? Da, da, da. But I forgot, I got 2 lawyers on my team. He didn't even go to jail.
Really?
Yes, he didn't go to jail because the 2 lawyers, and I had 2 lawyers and 2 judges on my team. So, you know what I mean? They make sure that he don't go to jail. They made sure he didn't go to jail or you know what I mean? Whatever. You know what I mean? He got out the hospital, got himself right. So he's back on the team. But yeah, you find those lawyers and those doctors. When you're scanning people, you know, you just don't recruit anybody. You just scan the lawyers, the doctors. You would need an essential worker, like somebody who can get into, you know, like a janitor. You're going to need one at least. You're going to need one construction worker. You're going to need a janitor, and you're going to need a cop. You're definitely going to need lawyers, doctors, and judges. You know what I mean? That's how you do it. That's how you play it. You recruit people like that and get a couple fighters. But some of those lawyers, like the Chinese lady, she's a nurse, but she straight vigilante bust ass. Like you can't, she gets it in. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, that's how you found her. She was doing some vigilante shit because she was going crazy. And I was like, this little Chinese lady going sick. But she got captured, so you go find her, you let her say she joined your team.
All right, I got to play that game. But my thing is I can't play I guess I'm just at the age where I can't play multiple games at one time because then I lose my place. So like I'm just gonna I
Okay.
gotta learn because it's weird. Like I'm at the point where like if I don't play the game that I'm playing, I won't come back to that game in like a year. You know what I'm saying? Because I'll play a game. Like for instance, it took me like to finish Assassin's Creed Origins. It took like a year to play because that game came out. Then like 5 other games came out, and I was just playing
Yeah,
that,
me
and then
too.
So like now I'm at the point where like, all right, I'm just gonna play this game. But I waited for Miles Morales stuff because like I was like, I'm just gonna wait because I want to beat the other games I was playing, but I want to wait and play this game and just play this game because when I played it, I played it. So like I waited for Black History Month. It was February. I'm just gonna play. I try to do that when it comes to Black History. I try to play, a game where like it's a predominantly black hat. Like the game I actually want to play next is Mafia 3. I got to finish that game.
Oh yeah, that was amazing.
Um,
That would be a good game to play for if you want to play some Black History Month because in the game you're going to learn so much Black history just
yes,
listening
you
to the
do.
radio.
You do.
Well, just listen to the radio because they have real radio. The radio has real news broadcasting running. So when it talks about somebody being lynched and dragged from their house, that was real news. You know what I mean in the '60s, but they just put it into the game. Oh, it was amazing.
That's another game that's highly underrated. Like, yeah, they always talk about 1 and 2, but Mafia 3 was amazing. Don't let nobody fool you. Mafia 3 was an amazing.
Yeah, it was the best out of the trilogy. And not because it was a black dude, not because of the black dude, and which was really Dominic.
Just the story.
Yeah, and the story was amazing.
Yeah, let's take a break. We'll come back. We'll finish up with games. We're gonna talk about some Wandavision. We'll be right back.
Oh, yes.
And we're back. Thank you guys for sticking with us. We were just talking about Mafia 3. Mafia 3 is I still got finished. I haven't finished that game. I got on Xbox. I think I got like halfway through.
They tripled down on the black in Mafia 3. I'm gonna tell you why for the main character. It's a Puerto Rican voice actor, right? Playing a Dominican brother in down south, in an African American society.
Is he half though? He half, right? He half Dominican, half black? I thought he's half Dominican.
No. He was Dominican. His mother just dropped him off with Sammy. You know what I'm saying? His mom was from Dominican Republic. So she came over here with the baby. And Sammy was, I guess, was in love with his mom. So he raised him as his own son. You know what I mean? Once his mom passed away, So, you know what I'm saying? Due to drugs or whatever. You know what I'm saying? They don't really, I think they do touch on it.
Yeah.
I think it was drugs. And then, Sammy raises him. You know what I mean? And Sammy, if you don't know, is a part of the Black Mafia, what people would call, Black Mafia back then. You know what I mean? There was the Haitian Mafia, the Black Mafia, the Italian mob, and the Irish Mafia. You know what I'm saying? And they all were stationed in this place, which is Louisiana. It's fictional Louisiana, but it's very close to the real Louisiana. They really kept close to the real. And the game was amazing. From beginning to the end, all the DLC, everything they did with it was amazing. That game was so good. So good. They brought back characters from the original. So you meet up with a homie from part 2.
Yeah, but you meet him. He's not a part of the DLC though, but you meet him in like he helps you out in one of the missions.
No, he works for you.
Yeah,
he's a main part of the story.
Yeah,
so
that's like the last thing I did in the game. I think I did a mission with him.
Okay, so you're gonna meet up with him. He's gonna become a main part of the story. It's really good. You know what I'm saying? And I was just because I never played part 1. But I did buy the trilogy pack when they came out with it, remastered. So I played part 1. I played part 2 first because it came out. That's the way it came out. played part 2. Then I started part 3 again because I beat that like three times already. But I played part 1, and then I just noticed that in part 1, and in part 2, there's a story mission with you and your boy. You go on a mission. You got to go whack this dude. He's just out on his front lawn. He's watering the grass, and you just kill him and you drive off, and you think nothing of it. It was just a story, a side little mission in part 2. But when you play part 1, that's the end of part 1. Like I didn't even, because I never played part 1 until I played it. So it became the ending of part 1. The guy, the original character in part 1, that's the guy you whack it in part 2. They send you on a mission. Yeah, it was so good. I was like, it blew my mind. Like, oh, that was dope how they did that. And then repeated it. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't tell you in part 2 that, hey, this is the guy. You just doing the job. Hey, go see this guy over here and take care of it. That's what you do. You know what I mean? You're a low-level mafia dude. You're just doing what the Don tell you to do. You go do the mission. You kill the guy. You drive off, and it never talks about it again.
And it takes place 20 years apart each game, right? And each game 20 years apart.
Yes. Because the first one is in the 20s. Yep. And then the second one is in the 40s.
It's like the 40s or 50s, and then this one's
definitely in the 40s. It's in the 40s. It starts in the 40s, the 30s actually, because it starts in war. It starts in the 30s, World War II. It starts at the end of the 30s, so you're definitely in the 40s, and it goes all the way up to like 48. You know what I mean? I remember that. And no, it goes up into the 50s. It does go into the 50s because something happened. I just remember the timeline. 48, then I remember 50, like 52 or something like that. I remember it going to like 52. So yeah, and then this one takes place during Vietnam, right after the Vietnam War, because that's where you're coming back from. You're coming back from the Vietnam War. As what's his name? What's the brother name in this?
I forgot. It's been so long since I played the game.
Clayton. Yeah.
So WandaVision, did you watch it?
Of course.
So, first of all, this is going to be some spoilers if you haven't watched it. So, just letting y'all know. Usually I don't talk about it because Tig be on here. But Tig ain't here today, is he? So,
because ain't here today.
So, episode 6 dropped yesterday, and they came out with the Halloween episode. So
yeah,
like a lot of people. All right, so the previous episode, Vision asked Wanda, "Where are all the kids at?"
Right.
This episode 6,
flooded with
all
kids.
The kids, right? All the kids. So if you've been following along, you still see how they.
All right, but did you peep? All right, since we talk about the episodes. First episode was like an I Love Lucy episode.
You're right.
Right. Second episode was kind of what? Brady Bunch?
Nah.
It had the Brady Bunch looking house in the background.
Okay.
Even though without the with house look. So the third episode was 80s. 80s. It was had that 80s feel.
Yeah, it was that they like in the intro, they usually like you can kind of tell what the show is.
It was Growing Pains.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because there was the drawing, how they did Michael J. Fox and Growing Pains.
Yeah. So this
not Growing Pains,
90s.
Not Growing Pains. What was the Michael J. Fox show?
I thought it was
Growing Pains. As long as we got each other.
It's Growing Pains.
No, Growing Pains was with what's the name?
I don't know. Hold on, I gotta look it up now. It wasn't
Growing Pains. It was something Life.
Facts of Life. No, that's not Facts of Life.
That's Facts of Life. Yeah, I can't remember. It's the Michael J. Fox show.
Oh, I'm gonna look it up. But keep going.
Yeah, and then the next episode was with this one right here, which is 5. It was like kind of like Malcolm in the Middle.
6. 6. So yeah, 6 is like Malcolm in the Middle. Yeah.
Malcolm in the Middle. 6 was like Malcolm in the Middle. I mean, yeah. So 5 was like we were still in the 80s towards the end. I can't remember what that episode, how it came on.
Would it be Family?
Family Ties. Family Ties. Yes.
Or Teachers?
Family Ties was how it came on. It came on like Family Ties, the old Michael J. Fox show, where they draw the characters and they got like a nice little banter.
This one just says, wait a minute. This one just says Family, but I heard of Family Ties.
That's what it's called. It's called Family Ties.
All right.
Yeah, and I like how they did that. Each episode had kind of gave you that kind of like that feel of something you've watched before.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was dope.
And I like how they had the costumes.
Oh yeah, they had the old
Quicksilver. Yeah,
costumes. Wanda, Scarlet Witch, and Vision.
Because they don't call her Scarlet Witch.
Not yet. Yes, they call her Wanda still, but she is Scarlet Witch.
And did you peep the fact that she asked
Pedro?
Yeah, Pedro, whatever his name is.
Pedro.
What happened to his accent? And he goes, what happened to your accent?
Your accent, yeah.
Because she used to have an accent in Age of Ultron. And then all of a sudden, it was just gone. Like, she just didn't have an accent anymore. Yeah. And it was funny. I remember watching, right after that movie, the episode dropped.
But you know what's weird, though? This is the part. He had a sister. I don't know if you remember. Because they're twins. And the real iteration are twins regardless. So they're twins when they're Magneto kids in X-Men. They're also twins in the Avengers universe. But in his world, his actual universe, they weren't twins. If you remember, his little sister was watching TV. His little baby sister, she was like 6 years old. When they come back in the 70s, they get him. The 80s, what was the 80s? Yes, it was the 70s. When they come to go get him from his house, and Days of Future Past, his little sister is watching the news, watching Magneto on the news. And his mother goes, I know that guy. You know what I'm saying? Remember?
Yeah.
This before they get Magneto. So his sister, Wanda, is still a kid in that story. She's not even a twin. That's why it's so funny that when he comes to this universe, he just accepted, hey, it's my twin sister. You know what I'm saying? But he's still treating her like a little sister. I don't know if you noticed it.
Yeah, I did.
That's why he's not treating her as either my equal twin. He's treating her because in his world, she was just his little sister. You know what I'm saying? Not his twin. So now he's still treating her with that same, like, hey, don't worry about it. Big bro got it. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? Like, but he's really not the same age. You know, so he got twins in this universe. But I like it though. I like all those little nuances that you could pick up on like that. I love how they do it. It's so well put together.
It is, and I like the fact that they I had it in my head and I lost it. I had it in my head and I lost it. I like the fact they had the outfits. I like the fact. Oh, here it was. So right after they aired the episode, I remember watching something that Elizabeth Olsen did for some channel. I forgot what channel it was. Where she go to like they had some like Google search questions. Like you type in Google search and she'll answer the question. And a couple of them was, why is she not called Scarlet Witch? But she didn't answer it. She was just like, I don't know. She kept saying that. She was like, what happened to the accent? And she was like, I don't know. Like, you know what I mean? Like, she was just like, I don't know. Like, you just say, I don't know. She just goes like this. Like, she just shrug her shoulders. So I think what's going to happen is they're gonna say something about it. Like, something's going to happen when they're going to talk about why she lost the accent.
What happened to the accent?
Yeah, what happened to the accent? They're going to talk about
well, she's on
name Scarlet Witch.
You know what it is? I can tell you. I figure out. I think I know what happened to the accents. She's in a place like TV shows, American TV shows, sitcoms, and in American sitcoms.
But she didn't have an accent before this. She didn't have an accent. Her accent was gone after Age of Ultron.
After the snap, when she came back from the snap, her accent was gone.
No, before the snap.
Yeah, but we didn't hear her talk before the snap. besides the Agent of Ultron. What else? Civil War?
So no, she talked in Civil War.
But she had an accent in Civil War.
She talked in Endgame. And she
That's
talked
when she
not
got
Endgame.
away.
She talked in the one before the one before Endgame. What's the one called before Endgame? Infinity War. She talked in Infinity War because there was a lot of scenes.
I don't remember she had an accent. I don't remember.
She had a whole bunch of scenes with her and Vision because that was they showed the whole love interest between them two. They escaped away and they were in the hotel room, blah blah blah. So
yeah, that's Endgame.
No, that's not Endgame. That's Infinity War.
Oh,
remember
that's right. That's the beginning.
Yeah.
Yes, that's Infinity, and she don't have an accent. You're right.
Yeah, she don't have an accent.
Yeah, she didn't.
I don't know. So little things they did. I don't know if they did it on purpose or they're just like, yo, just forget about it. You know, maybe she couldn't keep up with the accent.
I don't know. I mean, could she be a different Scarlet Witch?
Or
they're going into the multiverse now.
Yeah. Or could it be the snap? Because they did say that she said it in the show that, you know, they asked her how she able to make, Pedro asked her, how are you able to make all this? You know what I mean? Like he broke even though everybody in the show, everybody's acting like, you know, they act like it's a show. So he just breaks the wall and goes, how are you able to do all this? And she was like, I don't know. It's just, I just am. I'm just able to make it.
Oh, you talking Pedro asked her?
Yeah, when Pedro, you remember that scene where they were they're just sitting down?
Yeah, at the end while they sitting down, after they tell the kids to go run off. Yeah, he asks her, like, where'd you get the power? Asks her about how's the power, like how does she get that much power to do it? How is she, the kids, she's a nice touch. He was showing her like I know you're doing all of this. It's all right. I'm not your husband. I'm not here to judge you about it. You know what I'm saying? I'm your brother, but still, how the hell you do it? You know what I'm saying? Where you get all this power from? You know what I'm saying?
But I like the fact they put the kids in there because the kids are like she has the kids in the
the twins. The twins. Yeah.
And I like the fact that they
got the powers.
They got the powers. The whole end scene with Vision. The whole scene was funny. The whole scene was funny with Pedro. When Pedro said to the kids, he was like, "Now, this is a spoiler, but he tells because the kids are telling Wanda, I hear Daddy, he's hurt, blah blah blah.
Yeah, he in trouble. Yeah.
And he goes, don't worry, your dead daddy can't die again.
Oh yeah.
Wanda got so fucking mad.
Yo, it's funny though. He's hilarious. But everything he's always been in, he's been funny like that. So I like that they let him keep. That's him. I can tell that's how he is. Because you go back to American Horror Story or Gotham. He was in a couple things. You know what I'm saying? He was in a few things. But that's his banter, like the way he's funny like that. You know what I'm saying? I think that is really good that they didn't have him change like his banter, the way he could like talk like that. It's funny that he he can't die again. That's hilarious.
He can't die again.
But Vision found out he was dead. We got to talk about that. He found out he died.
Yes.
He runs into. She's gonna be somebody significant. I guarantee you, she's gonna be like another superhero or a villain. She's gonna be somebody. You know what I'm saying? She's not just gonna be some random person. Nobody in there is just random.
But I think they all just sword people. I think they're all sword employees or shield employees. That's what I'm feeling.
I don't know.
I think the only person that's not is the one that was in the first episode, the first or second episode.
That's her.
No.
Oh, the blonde girl.
Yeah.
The mayor.
Like these people may be like a character. Yes, they may be but they're not like a superhero. You know what I mean?
I think the one I think is going to turn out to be Homegirl, who was who told Vision about his being dead. I think she's going to turn out to be some type of hero or villain. I don't think that she's going to be an agent. Like the black guy, I know he's an agent. You can tell. He acts like an agent even when he's around. He got an earpiece in. He does certain, certain things you let you know. Who else in there?
I think he was like Spanish or Middle Eastern. He started freaking out with the computer.
Yeah. You can tell like certain people are definitely agents in there that they probably sent in and that never came back out because remember they've been monitoring this for a while.
I don't know. I don't know what it's gonna be.
And what you know what's crazy is Monica just woke up from the snap. She just appeared. So this is right after the snap.
Yeah, all this happened right after the snap. So
this is right after Robert Downey Jr. snap I'm talking about. This is right after his snap. So this is because Monica Rambeau appeared and her mother was dead for 3 years. So, that was the 3-year snap that everybody was going for 3 years. You know what I'm saying? So this is happening at the same time as Spider-Man.
There was I thought it was 5 years. Was it 5 years?
No.
Yeah, it was 5 years.
Right.
Died 3 years ago.
3 years ago, yes. So 5 years. So it's 5 years. So this happened at the same time as Spider-Man going home. Homecoming. What's the one we go? No, Far Away. What's the one he goes up? Yeah,
far away from
home.
Yeah, far
from home. So it's the same. It's happening at the same time as that. It's happening at the same time as what else is running at this time?
That's it.
After this snap. This is the only thing, right?
Yeah.
The only 2 things so far.
Well, we haven't seen the rest of the stuff.
Falcon and
which comes out next month.
That's all. These are all running at the same time. Well, the timelines is all at the same time.
And Doctor Strange, I was talking to my boy A-Rod on Facebook about because he posted the movie timelines. So Doctor Strange originally was supposed to come out after WandaVision because WandaVision is supposed to lead into Doctor Strange and the
new Doctor Strange Part 2.
Yes, it's supposed to lead into it because whoever the bad guy.
Kevin Feige said it.
Yes, but now it's not. So Doctor Strange is coming out next year. It's coming out, you know what I mean? So me and him was talking. He said that it's probably because of the COVID that they had to push everything back.
No, it's because of Spider-Man.
Spider-Man 3 is not coming out no time soon. Spider-Man 3 is coming out next year too.
Right. But what I'm saying is they both lead into together. Spider-Man leads into the multiverse, which Doctor Strange is going to pop up in. And then Spider-Man is going to be in Doctor Strange. This is why we're going to have all the different Spider-Man. So I guess which one was coming out first? You can't have Doctor Strange
allegedly. Allegedly, we're going to have to because it came out.
Oh, right. Allegedly. Well, you can't have Doctor Strange. No, Tobey Maguire said he's in it. So that's
but Tom Holland came out and said that the other actors are not in the movie as far as he knows. He said the other actors.
Oh yeah, they ain't got to tell his ass everything. They wouldn't tell him anyway. You remember he leaked the other Spider-Man. They wouldn't tell him no more. They're not going to tell him. Marvel's not going to tell him anything. He can't hold water. He can't hold water. We remember what happened with the first Spider-Man that he played in? How he leaked all the information in the interview. I remember the interview.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're not gonna tell him that shit. He gonna ruin it. He would have been told people, all the Spider-Mans coming together. You know what I'm saying? No. He can't hold water. That's what it is. But Jamie Foxx is in it, and that wouldn't make any sense for him to be in it as as that character, and if Andrew Garfield is in it. Like, why would we bring Jamie Foxx back? That makes, you know what I mean? You could have anybody playing a new Electro.
May 7th is supposed to be Black Widow, then Shang-Chi.
That's a prequel. Oh yes.
Black Widow. Black Widow's not a prequel.
It is. That's before she died. It's a prequel.
I thought it was. Oh yeah, she's already dead. That's right.
Yeah, she's dead.
Then it's Shang-Chi.
Yeah.
Eternal.
I want to see that.
And then Spider-Man comes out Christmas.
Yeah.
And then next year on my mama's birthday is Doctor Strange, Thor, May 6th, then Black
See,
Panther.
that's what it is. Because remember, Doctor Strange was going to come out before Spider-Man, but now they switched it. Spider-Man comes out first. You just said it. Spider-Man comes out first.
Yeah.
Doctor Strange. The reason why it wouldn't have made sense because if you had Doctor Strange come out first, which already that's going to be like full-fledged multiverse movie. Like, you know what I'm saying? They're going to be going through a crazy. It's going to be like a horror. They said it's going to be like a horror movie for the most part. But you telling the birth of the multiverse in Spider-Man, I mean, you still could have did it, but it would have just been a weird, it would have just been weird to the timeline. So if you're going to open up for the multiverse, for the main part where you really like open it up to the, to the MCU, I mean, even though they did it in Wandavision, because this is where it starts. Then Spider-Man connects to the Wandavision, as far as the multiverse. You know what I'm saying? And then Spider-Man connects to, WandaVision connects to Spider-Man. Spider-Man connects to Doctor Strange. I'm just talking about the multiverse timeline. This is how it's going to fully open up. You know what I mean? This is when we're going to start seeing more X-Men characters and final
Fantastic Four comes out 2023.
Yeah, that's why.
I think this is Ant-Man. I can't see it. Well, I'm assuming this is Ant-Man. No, I don't know what that is. Yeah, Ant-Man. Quantumania.
Blade has the multiverse. Blade has the multiverse in it now.
Yeah, Blade comes out. Yeah, all 2023 is supposed to be Guardians of the Galaxy, Blade.
That's all multiverse movies. I'm gonna tell you why, because Mashallah Ali is going to be Blade, right?
Yeah.
But what's the name is also going to be Blade. They cast him as Blade too, from a different universe. Wesley Snipes. He just confirmed.
You just confirmed it for real?
He just confirmed that he's Blade at a different Blade though, from a different universe. So they're both gonna be Blade. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna be fire. Marshall Ali's gonna be a younger Blade. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna be dope. That's gonna be dope.
So
that's gonna be dope.
This year though, so March 19th is Falcon and Winter Soldier. Then when that ends, Loki drops. Then when that ends,
that's gonna deal with the multiverse a lot too. The Loki.
Yeah, Loki. Yeah, because Loki has the Tesseract. Loki where they left off with Endgame. Loki had the Tesseract.
Did you see the trailer?
No, I didn't see the trailer for it.
Okay, well, yeah, no, he don't got it. He don't got it no more. I can tell you that. But he get caught. His asses get caught. You know what I'm saying? And they got him. I'm gonna tell you what the trailer, just what the trailer says. They got him, and they take him to a facility, which is like CIA or something like that. But it's a special part of Shield or something that's not Shield. And they tell him, "Look, we want you to become like some type of agent, and you're gonna have to solve these, mysteries." It's kind of like him going to different realms and places, solving murders and stuff like that. It becomes like a kind of like a
Sherlock Holmes,
like a Sherlock Holmes with Loki, but with crazy stuff going on. You know what I mean? With all the mysticism and the stuff of gods and all that stuff is all still in it, but it's with Loki. It looks funny. It looks, it got action in it. It definitely looks funny because you got to have that comedy element, that undertone. But it looked like it's going to be more like an X-Files. You know what I mean? Or what's that other show that was like X-Files? Fringe. You knew what I was talking about. That's why I love that show. Yeah. It looks like it has like that Fringe X-Files element to it, dealing with multiple worlds as well.
So what didn't they come out with What If already?
Not yet.
All right, so What If is coming out this summer, and then late, which I'm waiting for Miss Marvel. Hawkeye is coming out. Then next year, She-Hulk, Moon Knight, Secret Invasion, Ironheart.
I want to say who's coming out? Moon
Knight. Yeah, Moon Knight.
Oh, the girl. They got her show. She got a show.
I don't know if she's a girl. I just think she was a dude.
Yeah, it's Moon Knight. Moon Knight is a little girl with a dinosaur.
No,
that's not it.
No, Moon Knight's the Moon Knight kind of like he has a cape. He kind of like
Oh, right. I know still
he
like a
wore
Batman.
white. Yeah, with a shield and a sword, I think. I think he has a shield and a sword. I think.
I thought it
I was
was
confusing with
something.
I was confusing with who the bad guy is in Black Widow.
Oh, okay.
You know the black guy is in Black Widow?
Taskmaster.
Yeah,
Taskmaster.
Taskmaster. I was confused Taskmaster and Moon Knight.
Okay.
But Moon Knight looks like he looks kind of like Batman. He has like a hood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know
So
what you're talking about. I know exactly what you're talking about now. Yeah.
Secret Invasion. I think Secret Invasion. These are all series. Secret Invasion, Ironheart. I'm assuming Ironheart is the female Iron Man.
Yeah, they already got the cartoon. They already established it's a young black girl.
Yeah.
Just like in the comics. You know what I mean? Yeah, so the Ironheart, remember I told you they got the mini cartoons out right now. It's like hour long episodes of establishing, Mala Khan, Ironheart, Squirrel Girl, somebody else. Oh, Daisy is on it now. Daisy, that's the team leader. So she actually plays herself. The girl played Daisy in the Marvel Agents of Shield. Now she's in the cartoons, playing the same person, doing her own voice. And Quake, for those who don't know what I'm talking about, Daisy. And then they got they got this girl in a gymnast, a Puerto Rican girl in there in a gymnast outfit. I seen her before. I think she used to be on the Spider-Man show. You know what I'm saying? I think she used to be on the Spider-Man show. When it used to be Spider-Man, Luke Cage, the girl that wore the white cat outfit, and homie from Nova Corps. It was a TV show. It was like Lived All with Aunt May. I don't know if you remember.
I know what you're
Right?
talking about.
Yeah. They was like becoming like young agents of Shield or whatever.
She was
She was a Puerto Rican girl in there too. So I'm thinking it's the same girl.
yeah, I gotta look her up now because I know who you're talking about. It's with the young Spider-Man cartoon.
Yeah, it was Spider-Man, Luke Cage, Nova. I forgot his name. The Nova dude. And that's his superhero name is Nova. I forgot his name. And then Homegirl, and then I think that was it. And they were all living without May or whatever. They would have to go to high school, stuff like that. But the girl was a Latina girl in the cartoon. I think they brought her back in this one because it's a Latina girl in this new iteration. She's just and they also have what's the young Captain America, the boy? I forgot his name. It's a black kid. You remember in the comics or in he was also in Ultimate Alliance. He was also in the game Ultimate Alliance 1 and 2. He wears white, blue, and red, and he got the shield like Captain America. He's a black kid, like a teenage boy.
Might that be Falcon?
No, it's Captain America's sidekick.
Oh,
black kid, the Star Spangled Kid. That's his name is. He's in it too. Star Spangled Kid is in the new thing that's going on. He's one of the team members, and they just found out about Ironheart. She made her own suit. Just to let you know, she didn't get her suit from Iron Man. She made her own suit, which is dope because she's a genius. But I was watching they was talking about this. I can't remember, it's Moon something, not that character. It's a little girl and a dinosaur. She's the smartest person in the MCU.
I'm sorry. Go back to your thing. Yeah, that was Gwen. Wasn't that Gwen Stacy?
Who?
That girl in the white.
No. Oh yeah, but no. She don't have on white. She's not Gwen Stacy. This one you can tell she's Puerto Rican. She has an accent, a Spanish accent as well, but she's brown, and she has on red and white.
She's like a panther,
she has like
though,
a
right?
white body, a white suit, sweatsuit. It's like a sweatsuit. You know what I mean? It
Yeah,
has blue.
I know what you're talking about too. She's like, she has a cat, something. It's cat.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know what you're talking
So,
about. I can't remember
Jaguar. Was it Jaguar?
Man, I'm trying to find the cartoon, but I just can't find it.
She was like Black Panther, but white. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
She had a white
She was
suit.
like she was just like Black Panther, but white. I just can't
White.
find
So
the
I'm thinking
cartoon.
she was Jaguar, because like she was like a South American, like you know what I mean? They had probably was a Jaguar, but I don't know if this is the same character in the new iteration because you don't see her suit up. But she does. She can fight. And she's very strong in the new ones and the new what's the names. But they also have another movie that you didn't mention.
What? Well, I didn't finish it because you started talking.
No, it's coming out this year. It didn't have it in the list.
What?
It comes out on Disney Plus. A lot of people don't know. Like it's a character called Squirrel Girl. I think I told you about this already.
Oh yeah, you did tell me about that.
A character called Squirrel Girl, and it's about a girl who's dressed like a squirrel in an aviator jacket, but she has a squirrel with her. But the squirrel is the superhero. And that movie comes out, I think, next month or the month after. You know what I'm saying? And it's about this. And she's in it, the Squirrel Girl, but the squirrel has the superpowers. She's the sidekick to the Squirrel Girl. So, you know what I mean? That's coming out. It looks hilarious. You ever get a chance to see the trailer? It's funny as hell.
And they watch it on Disney Plus too, right? And
yeah,
the trailer on Disney Plus. So I'm looking forward to Marvel. I think it's cool what they're doing. I like the fact they're bringing out Miss Marvel because Kamala Khan is. I like the fact that they're bringing out more of the.
Oh, you talking about Monica Rambeau?
No, not Monica Rambeau. No.
Oh, you talking about Captain Marvel? Okay.
No, I'm talking about Miss Marvel, Kamala
Ms.
Khan.
Marvel. Yeah, I know you're talking about. Kamala Khan. That's gonna be a great TV show.
Yeah, like just the fact that they're putting more people of color on, like, because it's even directed by a Middle
Yes, everybody from where she comes from. A lot of Arabian, Arabic people.
And I like the fact that they're doing that. Like Marvel is really stepping their game up and making sure, and like to keep it real with everybody, this started with a Jewish man doing all this shit, like making people of color in the forefront. Like he started originally. A lot of people don't know this. Storm was the leader of the X-Men.
Yes, Storm was the first.
A lot of people don't know this. Storm was the leader of the X-Men.
Yes,
he was getting death threats.
Oh yeah, they was gonna kill him in the 60s.
They made him.
Everybody knew what the 60s, what the X-Men was about. The X-Men was about the 60s movement and the movement that Black people and people of color was going through. You know what I mean? He made a story that we can relate to. And this is why Black people love the X-Men. You know what I'm saying? This is true. Yeah. We relate to the characters more because we know that we relate to the story more, being considered an outcast people, you know what I mean? Being a second-class citizen, being oppressed by your government. These are things that we were going through in the 60s. So when he wrote the X-Men in the 60s, he wrote it for us. It was a story. It was a love letter to our people.
And
you know what I'm saying? This is why I love Stan Lee.
Yeah. So
I love Stan Lee.
And I mean? what's also cool too, like even though he made Storm the second person in charge, he made Magneto and Professor X basically Martin Luther King and Malcolm X and Martin Luther King.
Absolutely.
So
we know that.
But a lot of people don't know that though. A lot of people don't, like, we know that.
Right. We know that because, like I said, the story was really a love letter to us.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, if you ever hear Stan Lee tell the story of him coming up with the story of the X-Men, he says it. Well, the civil rights movement was going on, and you had, all these things going on in the 60s that why he wrote the story. You know what I mean? Why he wrote the story of the X-Men. So yeah, they definitely was Malcolm X and Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King being Professor X and Malcolm X being, Magneto, who was by any means necessary. You know what I'm saying? That's the exact way of life. Like, it's like by any means necessary, we're not going to let these people destroy us. That was Magneto's basically his thing. And you know, Professor X was more unity. We need to really work with them. You know what I mean? Try to become a one people. You know what I mean, that's the story of Martin Luther King. Yeah, we definitely, which was dope.
So I just want to say that we did cover a lot. We covered a lot. We talked about Black history. We talked about people not wanting to learn Black history. We talked about Trump ass getting off. We talked about some video games. We talked about some TV shows. And now, in the words of Mickey Mouse, it's time to say goodbye to all our friends and family. So thank you guys so much for watching. We will be back. Hopefully everybody will be in attendance. If not, it's just going to be me and Deuce talking like we always do. Also, we're going to have a new person coming to the show. I'm not going to say who it is. Might have one or two people might be joining the show to bring some new segments on. And thank you guys so much for watching. See you guys next time. And that's it. Make sure you watch this on YouTube. I know I put the clips out there, but check it out on YouTube. Share it.
Check the whole episode out.
Check the whole episodes out. I know I'll put the clips up there, but check the whole episodes out. Soon we're gonna be moving from YouTube to the B Major Network site. So if you want to get the content, that's where you're gonna have to go get it. So I'll check you guys out later. Always remember, I haven't said this in a long time. Always. I'm gonna tell you guys a story about this next time I'll come on there, how I came up with this phrase, but always remember to keep betting on the Wolves.